Did you know that approximately 15% of all properties in Ontario have a septic system? Now, before I get into exactly what that means or where I'm getting at, if you could just head below, hit that subscribe button, it'd mean a lot. You can hit the bell if you want to stay up to date with all of our content. And if you learned something today or you like the talk, please feel free to hit that like button. It means the world to us. So, 15% of houses in Ontario. Doesn't seem like a lot until you remember the fact that the vast majority of properties in Ontario are in the GTA. And the GTA, being the beast that it is going to be primarily on sewer. So, septic systems are kind of for everyone else, for the most part. Take Barrie, for instance. If you're in Barrie proper, very, very good chance you're on sewer. But even just outside of Barrie, like Midhurst, which is practically attached, a lot of those, if not all of those properties, are on septic. So, what is a septic system? People get worried about them because they don't know what they are. So, here we are going to dispel that and let everyone know so that we don't fear the septic demon. Septic systems, from a layman's standpoint, are very simple. You have a pipe running out of the house that carries your wastewater, goes into a septic tank. Septic tanks vary, but we're going to be talking about just kind of the stock standard one today. It goes from the tank out into a weeping bed, drain field, different names for it. Either way, it's a large area planned out to disperse liquid. Quick tip, don't put anything on the septic bed. Nothing at all. People will park vehicles on that, and that is a no go. Keep that stuff clear. But before we get too far into me talking, septic tank. How work? So, from the building, as you can see here, your water, wastewater specifically, comes in, right? And the way the tank works, they're usually, to my knowledge, not a cuboid, but cylindrical. They might be a cuboid. I don't know. What happens in here is a bit of natural filtration. So your solids sink down to the bottom. You've got a scum that forms here on the top. And then from there, the water passes through a partition into the second chamber, where there's then a further kind of natural filtration that happens. More solids fall down to the bottom, more scum forms up top, and then the water flows through the effluent screen and then out into your drain field. It's actually pretty cool, like science-wise, how people figure this out. You usually end up needing, and the reason you fill up your tank, because your water is actually constantly flowing through here, right? The reason you end up needing to empty your tank is because of a combination of A, sludge, and B, scum. So once this flows out into the weepers, what happens? Well, very simply, it's let out into your yard. More technically, it is filtered through some sort of screen, whether it be gravel or some other, it's usually like a crushed up type of stone, and it will then seep from where it is. It's usually buried about 3 feet below the ground, and then it will just go, and it will fall. And as the water goes through, keep in mind this water is already relatively clean, but it will then go through a natural filtration process through the ground all the way down until it meets back up with the water table, where it completes the happy water cycle of life. And if you're running on well water, it'll then meet back up with your well. If you're not, then it just goes down and hangs out in the water table for someone else to pick up. So that's kind of my explanation of a septic system. It's probably not 100% accurate, but I do feel, well, I shouldn't say accurate. all encompassing, but I feel like it, gets the point across, lets you know they're not something to be afraid of. It's just really cool science, in my opinion. I'm going to leave actually down in the description below a really cool and helpful website, buildersontario.com. They actually have an excellent just description area of septics and how they work, excellent diagrams, and all that sort of thing. So, if you happen to like this chat and you learned something, please go down and hit that subscribe button, as well as the like button, because it makes me feel good inside. Also, hit that bell if you want to stay up to date with all of our content. If you want to learn more about septic systems, I did put out a video relatively recently about just some quick tips on maintenance. Not an exclusive list, but a couple things that are good to keep in mind. But that's it for me. Till the next one.